All right, so today we're going to take everything we learned in the last few lessons and solve multi-step inequalities. So not just adding one thing, multiplying one thing, we're going to do multi-step like we did with solving equations. So similar idea, just a little different. So practice these two on your own, and then we'll talk about them. Okay, so first we want to divide by -3, but it's negative, and we're multiplying or dividing, so you need to flip your inequality. So that gives us x equals -6. So we have 0, -6. Open circle because we know equals to. X is on the big side of our inequality, so you want to be getting bigger. Here we're going to multiply by 4 on both sides. We'll get -28. And we have a positive number that we're multiplying by, so we don't need to flip the sign at all. And you'll get that x is less than -28. So put 0, -28. We have a filled in circle because of the equals to, and then x is on the small side here, so we want to be getting smaller. Okay, so the steps for solving multi-step inequalities are the exact same process as multi-step inequalities, except for when you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must flip the inequality sign, like we did in that first warm-up example. So, some examples here. Like we did before, there's imaginary parentheses right here. So you need to multiply by 4 on both sides, and you'll get t minus 1. It's a positive 4, so our inequality stays the same. And then 52. And then you add 1 to both sides. T is greater than 52. If it doesn't ask you to graph, you don't have to, just as a note. On this one, we can add 1 first to both sides. T over 4 is greater than 14. Multiply by 4. So we're multiplying, we gotta check, is it negative? It's not, so we don't need to switch our inequality, and we'll get 56 right here. All right, you try these two, pause the video, try them, and then we'll talk about them. So subtract 11 from each side. You get -5r is less than or equal to 25. Now we can divide by -5. We're dividing, so check, is it negative? This one is negative, so we need to flip our sign. And we'll get r is greater than -5. All right, now we're going to subtract over here. First step, subtract 43. Subtract 43. You get 2 is less than r over 19. Multiply by 19, so we're multiplying, we got to check. Is it negative? This one is a negative, so we're good. And you'll get 38 is less than r. And you can leave it like that, or you can switch it and put the r first and switch your inequality. And there you go. All right, so more complicated, just like we did with solving regular equations. We got to distribute this in. So you get 16 is less than or equal to 8m plus 4 minus 2m. So we took this and put this into each equation. Just like before, we can combine like terms. So combine these two together to get 6m plus 4. Now you can subtract 4 from both sides. We'll get 12 is less than or equal to 6m. Divide by 6. Check here, we're dividing. Is it negative? This one is not negative, so we can leave this the same. And you get 2 is less than or equal to m. So again, you can leave it like that, or you could write it as m is greater than or equal to 2. Either way. All right, now we got inequalities on both sides. So still, same process as solving. We're just checking for negatives when we multiply and divide. So 4p minus 5 is greater than -4 minus 2p. I'm going to add the 2p to both sides. We have 6p minus 5 is greater than -4. Add 5 to both sides. 6p is greater than 1. Now you can divide by 6, divide by 6. And here, we're not dividing by a negative number, so we're good. So you get p is greater than 1. And there you go. All right, so you guys try these two. Pause and try, and then we'll talk about them. So here we get 7m. Distribute your negative n to both of these. You get negative 6m plus 6 is less than or equal to 9. Combine like terms here. We'll get m plus 6 is less than or equal to 9. Subtract 6. M is less than or equal to 3. Rewrite this m here. All right, over here, lots of options again. I'm going to subtract the 5m to keep everything positive. You get 1 is greater than or equal to 4m minus 5. Add 5 to both sides. 6 is greater than 4m. We need to divide by 4, and then check. Is it negative? We're doing multiplication division. It's not negative, so we're good. We can leave the sign the same. And you'll get 3/2 or 1.5 is greater than m. And again, you can rewrite this if you want to and do m is less than 3/2. There you go. So last example here is a word problem. So you want to buy a pizza from Domino's and you only have $15, so you can't spend more than that. The cost of the pizza by itself, the base pizza, is $8.75. Each topping you add is $1.25. So we need to write an inequality that represents this situation to figure out how many toppings can you actually put on your pizza and still be able to buy it. So I'm going to say that t equals toppings. So make sure you specify your variable and say what it is, so t equals toppings. And then we're going to write this out. The most you have is 15, so that's your maximum. You have to be less than or equal to that. You can't go above it. We know a pizza by itself is $8.75, so we have to have that, and then we're adding on some amount of toppings. Each topping is $1.25, and then t is going to represent how many toppings you have. Now we can solve this for t. Subtract your 8.75 from both sides. You get 1.25. T is less than or equal to 6.25. Divide by 1.25t. And then here, check. Is this positive or negative? It's positive, so we're good. And you'll get t is less than or equal to 5. So you can put a maximum of 5 toppings on this pizza and still be able to buy it. Your homework then is the 3.4 Math Excel. Let me know if you have any questions.